Welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I'm your host, Keisha. I've got producer James over here who is doing a horrible job at being a producer today. We've had lots of production issues right before this recording, and he seems to think in his head, and I don't know how he got this in his head, that I will not get rid of him both personally and professionally.
Ouch.
I will cut ties with you.
Okay. Who would you get?
It doesn't matter.
You can't afford to pay someone what it would cost to put up with you.
I'm sure I have ways that I could pay a person to do the little bit of work that you do here on this podcast. Because I think that you have created this pocket in your brain that you are the show.
No.
That the show cannot go on with you. Here's the thing. I can record this on notes on my phone and just put it out there in the world. People will just have to get over the fact that it sounds crazy, but it's just like, okay, but she's still there. I can do it. I can even record my show on my iPhone and have video with it. These are things you need to think about.
Okay.
Your inflated ego has gotten out of control here. The printer ain't got no ink. So I can't print out my notes. So now I'm having to read notes from my phone. There's a formula to me printing out the notes. That's how I work best. Having my notes printed out. Now I have to keep putting my fucking thumb on my phone so that it doesn't do the lock screen so I can keep on task with my notes to get through the show. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like a delivery boy has one job. He delivers shit. You are a production boy. You have only one job, and that's to do producing shit. And every week, I swear to you, you take steps down the ladder. You just sliding down the ladder every single time. Well, you know what? I'm going to get me a whole new ladder and a whole new person to fucking climb it. Because this is beginning to be too much. The microphone doesn't work. It's dead. Well, why is it dead? Because to me, a person who works in production, before we start producing the show, they check all the equipment. They don't check the equipment 5 minutes before it's showtime. Do you think that Steven Spielberg works under these kind of conditions? I don't think that he does. He relies on the production crew to do what they're supposed to do, the same way that I have mistakenly been depending on you to do production. Do we need to have a meeting?
I think we just did.
Because it's just getting you've getting big headed. You're slipping and sliding and shit.
You call me big headed all the time anyway.
Well, it's getting bigger.
Oh.
And it's one thing if your head is bigger and you're doing your job right, but it is just really just an imbalance to have a big head and you fucking up. That's what I've been taught all my life. Don't think that it's not some little nerdy 13-year-old boy who I can approach and all they see is big titties who would come over here and do this shit for free. Because they would. They would.
Your high school project?
Yeah, and have them some little cheese snacks and a Coca-Cola, a cherry Coca-Cola, and some Mountain Dew, some Pop Rocks. They'd be perfectly happy to come over here and do this. And here's the thing. They would do it correctly so I wouldn't even have to talk shit. You get me amped up to a level that I don't like to get amped up at. When your job is quite simple. Production. The production isn't even that large. It is simply keeping the motherfucking microphones charged up, making sure the sound system is working. You do a couple of clicks on that mouse pad. That's it. That I think that right now with the classes that Saki is taking at PetSmart, I could have her teach him in one session what you do. And I wouldn't have to put up with a whole bunch of shit. And he'd just be happy with a piece of beef jerky. That's what I think.
Maybe if I got petted as often as he got petted, I would act a little different.
Maybe if you do your job right, actively correct, you could get petted. But you don't. You just come in here and it's like on a wing and a fucking prayer. Every time we record, like it's just new. Like it's new. It's like clearly you heard how we started last week and it was shaky. I would think this is what I would do. I'd be like, last week was a little bit shaky. Let me go ahead an hour before we start recording, make sure everything is up to par. So when the talent arrives, the talent can sit in their space with printed out notes. They put on their microphone and they perform. That is not the case today.
Would it, does it help that we've literally done this show 204 times?
You just made yourself look worse.
I know.
You should be able to do this shit blindfolded. But yet here we are.
This is episode 193 of the normal show, and we've done other shows,
And I would like to know, within those 193 times that we've had a show, how many times I've had to cuss you out about y'all performance?
I think you just write it in.
I don't think you're getting an end of the year Christmas bonus. That's what I think. I just don't feel like, if I have to keep having these TED Talks with you, like that's taking up, see how much time you've wasted of my show?
You're driving this boat, not me.
I'm just saying, it's too much yet too little at the same time. I just, hazardous working conditions, because I don't know if this motherfucking microphone that has dust on it, if it's going to electrocute me or not.
We have 4 of these wireless mics, and one of them just wasn't working for the first time ever in 193 recordings.
That's a lie.
No.
Because I haven't even been using this microphone for all the recordings.
Well, we've been using it for a bunch. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't working. Mm-hmm. Wasn't ready for that. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing the best I can.
I think you're really concentrating a little bit too much on your quote-unquote co-hosting, which you are barely that. And I think you've been really just dwelling a lot in that. How can I be funny? How can I steal her show? How can I get my own show? Don't ride on my motherfucking coattails, because I'm busy riding on other people's coattails.
I'm the producer. If I wanted my own show, I could just make one.
Who gonna listen to it without me? Who? Who? Your 5 little nerdy friends? You're nothing without me. I can't be replaced. You can.
You made it clear.
I think my numbers have made it clear. Go ahead and produce your show. Put it out there. Let's do this. I would love for you to do your own show.
Okay.
And then we look at them download. I'll give you 3 months. And then we look at those, because I'm going to promote you on my show. I'm gonna promote you a little bit. I'll do that for you.
I'm doing it under our distribution channel.
No, you need to find your own show. No, you're not. This would be on the Libra Lounge talking about fucking woodworking. No.
It's a producer James special.
Yeah, for special people. Not my audience that I've grown and am still trying to grow. You're not facing the message. No, you got to find your own network platform to get on. We're not doing that under Pink Phoenix. You're not going, this is a special episode of the Libraloungewithkeisha. No, it's not. So you need to get your own plan together. Your own plan. I'll tell people, this what producer James is doing now. This is where you can find him. And here you go. I'll give you 3 months. And after 3 months, that is enough time to build a following. Okay. And then we look at our numbers and then we compare. I bet you anything, if you start your own show, the numbers are going to be low. Like they're going to be low. But if you have me on as a guest, I'll get you the numbers. I'll get you, because you know what? You need me.
I don't know if I want to do a whole show.
You can't.
I'm just getting
the talent. It's lacking
attacked.
Talent.
Like this would be the whole show. You just berating me.
No. I'm gonna do like I do when I have guests. You send me your show notes, the show layout. You tell me what my questions are going to be, and I'll answer my question. I'm not gonna try to do you up. That's just gonna happen naturally. That's just how it's gonna go. But I'll help you out a little bit. I'm not gonna listen to your show. I'm gonna fast forward it to the parts that I'm on. And then that's it.
See, folks, this is how you know that this show is nearly 100% improv, because everything she just mentioned with the mics and all that literally happened 30 seconds before I said we're recording.
No,
this is brand new stuff.
We have been trying to start the show for 30 minutes.
I'm saying it's new. You didn't.
Oh no, this is completely no. Yeah. You wrote the material. by your actions.
Everything she said has been off the cuff.
I just sat here and unfortunately had to observe and watch you fuck up not once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. 10 times.
Somebody called us relationship goals today. Is this part of the goals?
I think they were looking at what I bring to the relationship. I can make any relationship work. You're just like a doer. You're like a doer. You're like the little quiet special.
You can make any relationship work, really.
I can.
How do you figure that?
By being me.
Yeah, but there's only a slight percentage of the population who could actually deal with you.
I think
one of them.
I think anyone could deal with me. I'm cute.
I think history has proven otherwise.
No, I got rid of them. They always try to come back.
Mismarried at 37.
There has not been a single man on this planet who I have dated who has not tried to come back. They try to come back so hard, they say, I'll even just be your friend. Like, as long as I can have you in my life, we can just be friends. Can I take you out to lunch? Sure, there's no romance or anything like that, but they want me in their life. That has not happened with you.
No, I don't want that.
You do.
No, I really don't. I also don't have the option, but it's, I wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want me to have some ex-girlfriend as a friend.
I mean, you could, but you would be doing it at your risk of life and hers as well. So to me, I'm like, he don't care about neither one of them, so... Y'all just go play out there in the fucking streets because y'all don't want to be safe. Go out there without sunscreen. Like, do all the unsafe shit there is.
That is the best kind of standard. Double.
I'm just calling it like it is. I cannot help that it is that way, but it is that way.
I mean, it is true. Like, and it pisses me off, but I have to deal with it. Yeah, every ex-boyfriend she's ever had still tries to be some part of her life.
Yeah.
Even though they're third, fourth, fifth, sixth string at this point behind her husband, they still want to be her friend.
Yeah.
And I got to sit here and take it.
Because I'm friendly and full of personality and charms. All the things that you lack. I possess those things.
Hashtag relationship goals.
I'm just saying. Look.
Don't we have the gab to get to? Can we? This has gone on long enough.
Okay, we can talk about it later. Look, we can talk about it on the next show. Cause trust and believe, before the next show, he gonna be done fucked up some shit. It is almost part of the show. It is like he has to fuck up something that he should have. It is always something he should have already done. It's always things that I think have already been done, and I sit down and realize he is unprepared. I have my shit together. You don't. So when I get rid of you, you're going to be like all those other exes trying to still get me to be part of your life.
Keisha, can I take you to lunch?
All right. Just look. Don't try to hold my hand. Don't try to gaze into my eye. Don't try to gaze into my eyes. We are not going to be in a relationship. This is all that you get. It's friendship. That is all. Okay? All right. If you're a friend of the Libra Lounge, which I hope that you are, it is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The gab with Keisha.
Now look, I don't understand the group of people who keep turning on Jennifer Lopez's mic. Her mic needs to be in full. Her mic needs to be like how my mic was 30 minutes ago. No longer working. This bitch cannot sing, okay? Here's the thing. Like, when she first came out, she had some hits. I'm like, okay, J-Lo, okay. But then as the years went on, we realized it's because she really wasn't singing her own shit. It was Ashanti was singing her stuff. There's this other, God bless this woman, because she went on TikTok and she was like, you hear this song that's by J-Lo, you hear this song by J-Lo, that's my voice. She even said they were so sloppy with their shit. She goes, there's one part where I giggle. They even kept my giggle in the song, and she got paid shit for it. And like, these turned out to be major hits for J-Lo.
So wait a minute. So you're saying J-Lo wasn't singing at all?
She basically sings over the singer's track, but is blended in with the singer who can can really sing.
So this isn't like a Milli Vanilli lip sync thing.
It is as close as you can get without just full blown. I wish she would do the practice of Milli Vanilli. And then here's the thing.
Wow.
So here's a person who's not a strong singer. I will never take it away from Jennifer Lopez. She is a performer. But her age is really started to show, and I'm not age shaming, but I feel as though when you start to age, that your show should also go along with that. Like, okay, we get it. We're not about to see 20-year-old, 30-year-old Jennifer Lopez. We're going to see 50-year-old is in full-blown menopause Jennifer Lopez. But she won't do that, right? So she's got these outfits on that are just, I don't know, has J-Lo's net worth gone down? Because the shit that she has been having on looks horrible and cheap. And someone has brought it to everyone's attention that, okay, we just saw Beyonce went on the Renaissance tour last year. She's currently on the Cowboy Carter tour. And so they start doing a side-by-side comparison. And it's like, oh, okay. She's been watching Beyonce. And she's trying to mimic some of Beyonce's costumes that she wears for her shows. But she told them she needed it at a 50% off discount for herself.
She needed the Ross version.
It looks really, really bad. And it's like, okay, J-Lo still has a great body, but it's like, change it up. Change it up a little bit. She looks fantastic for 50. She looks fantastic for...
I mean, she's always
looked great because she's a dancer and she loves to work out and all those things. She's pretty
and she's, she's,
She was not blessed with the talent to sing.
She's not a triple threat at all.
Well, she kind of was until we figured out that it wasn't really 100% her voice. So she's like a 2.5 threat. I think that's what we should call her. Yeah. And just like, she would, I can't remember what award show it was, like maybe the AMAs or something like that. She hosted and performed. It was so cringy. It wasn't J-Lo. You know what I mean? I'm like, we saw Janet Jackson went on tour. We saw Janet Jackson watch her down some of her old choreography, make it fitting for her age. Everyone got it. Everyone applauded her for doing that. J-Lo is in a complete denial, okay? Now, J-Lo is 50. Beyonce is in her 40s. But Beyonce has continuously worked and toured where J-Lo has not. I mean, J-Lo tried to do a tour last year and they had to cut it because people weren't showing up. So I don't know now with this new tour, if someone had to cut my tour because people were not buying tickets, that's when I would say I'm officially retiring.
Yeah.
Maybe give me a residency at some little bar, in Vegas, not even like just a little bar, a little bit of cabaret, where I'm sitting down with a piano player, maybe a guitar player, playing slow versions of all of my mega hits. That's just what I would do.
I'm doing just intimate engagements.
Intimate night with J-Lo. I think people would love that. But this shit that I have, when she sings, it is like a teacher who hates her fucking class, who didn't just use one hand, she used both hands, all of her acrylic nails to scratch a fucking board, a chalkboard. It's bad. She knows it's bad. I'm going to tell you how she knows it's bad. Because she is reposting these things on social media, right? And on Instagram, she has cut off the comments. So she has filtered through the comments to have all of these delusional fans that are they're going to be your fan no matter how bad it is, clearly, who are saying all these great things about her. And then you see where it says, comments for this post have been limited. So basically, no one else can post. They have gone through, filtered out the good stuff, thrown away the bad. The true shit ain't on there anymore. And so then they just cut it off because they're like, okay, we don't have time to...
Well, can't you do it where you can set it where you have to like review and approve every single comment?
I don't know if you do that on Instagram. I know you can do that on TikTok.
Okay.
TikTok, if you want a honest review of her performances, go to TikTok because those motherfuckers don't care at all. They will create their own page to show you all the performances, and then people are like, oh, okay, that's where you get the truth. Don't go to J-Lo's page. That is falsified. It is not the truth.
Like that's what TikTok and Reddit do. Like Reddit is awesome for going and finding groups that's like telling you the real about people and stuff.
Yeah, it's just, it looks bad. It just, I don't know. I think it is hard for a person to come, especially a person like her, who has been known for having this great body, being able to act, being able to do this and being able to do that, to admit I can no longer do those things.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't stay on top forever.
No.
For sure. I mean, but look at someone like Sandra Bullock. Like, you don't hear her doing a whole bunch of stuff. She just does some acting here and there. We all love her.
Well, because
She's
she
a
wants to
legend,
be
and
just an
off she goes.
actor. She doesn't want to be a celebrity.
There you go.
J-Lo's in that celebrity mode. So, I mean, even if you look at Beyonce's tour, she's slowed down some herself.
Here's the thing. How often has Beyonce acted after, like, Austin Powers and Cadillac Records?
She
Not much.
never needs to act again.
Nope.
Talking is not her sport. It's just not. That's not. No, she most definitely needs to stick to singing. But what she has done is she has upped the production of her show, so she doesn't have to do as much because she knows she can't compare with 20-year-old Beyonce. I totally respect that. She's like, I hired you backup dancers to do all that knuck if you buck all the way down, twerking to the ground. So I don't have to do as much. And you want to know what? I learned that from watching Jocelyn's Cabaret. I had never heard that before. She told her dancers, I have y'all on the stage working hard dancing so I can concentrate on singing and not have to work that hard dancing. And I'm like, you know what? That makes perfect sense. But J-Lo just refuses to do this at all. It's just bad. Something else that's really bad is Britney Spears is at it again.
Oh boy.
She's at it again. She keeps throwing it in our own faces. Y'all went too hard for me, didn't y'all? Y'all remember when y'all had
Y'all
them
didn't
free
have the
Britney
whole
t-shirts?
story.
Y'all, I tricked y'all. I bamboozled y'all because I am a little bit crazy. It's in there. So she makes this post and she's saying that she has adopted a little girl. Okay. Well, you know the world that we live in, someone can say that, and we don't know if you mean you adopted a human, a dog, a cat, a ferret, because we all refer to them as our children. Well, in this case, she actually had like a pink, I don't know if it was a car seat or if it was one of those bouncy thingies. She had it in her background. So people are starting to lose their fucking minds, rightfully so, because we're like, what adoption agency let you adopt a child? It had to be some fucking Russian adoption place where no matter, as long as you have $35,000, you can adopt a kid. But even that was quite questionable right there. So then she released a statement, and we still see there's a bouquet of pink flowers next. So it's a car seat that I see. There's a car seat and it's got pink decorations all over it. So she releases this statement. She goes, I'm going to read it exactly like it is written. So I don't need y'all to be saying that bitch is half illiterate. She doesn't need to read anything. I'm going to read it just like it is written. It says, Britney Spears, I haven't worked out in years, so I put this little pink one piece on and played. And played is in all caps. Okay. How are you beautiful people this morning? I need coffee. And I want to let you guys know I adopted a beautiful baby girl. Her name is Lennon London Spears. This is 30 seconds of my random silly workout. I hate working out, but 3 hours of my footage was also stolen. It kind of hurt my stomach to see it disappear because, well, I sweat my ass off and I had a white jacket on. Lennon today has on an adorable dress. It says, I'm new here, in caps. So please stop talking trash, America, in all caps. I've decided to move to Italy.
What the fuck is that?
What is that?
It's a ramble. It's a lunatic rambling.
Yeah, and this is how she does all the time. She does something that is quote unquote crazy, then has to immediately go back because someone has said, put the pill bottle down, Britt. Put the vodka down. This is what you wrote. And now everyone is losing their minds. Now we need for you, We're going to write it out for you. Okay. You can still read, right, Britt? We're going to write it out for you. We're going to, you're going to type it and put it on. Never mind. Don't worry about it. We'll type it all up for you. Okay. You just pose and do a little cute picture. That's it.
Take a picture, hit send. All you got to do.
Because, okay, you say you've adopted the baby. I don't know if this looks like a baby in here. Nope, there's not a baby in there. There's not. Like, look, is it a baby alive? Because, you know, you've got these women that create these look-alike baby dolls that look pretty, they look creepy yet so real all at the same time. Is that what you have done? Brittany, like, we have so many questions. Just, I don't know if she's getting the help that she needs, but I think this is a case that she makes all the money. She has hired people to be yes people around her, but this bitch is still fucking crazy. She does concerning things like makes videos with fucking knives. It's like, you're not a knifeologist. Put that knife down, Brittany. Stop it before you cut yourself or possibly slice someone's throat who's in there filming you. It's just, I don't get it. Every time I think that she might be okay, she does something like this.
I got to say, man, the more and more, like, you see her, you see some of these other crazy celebrities, and then you start picking up on some of these documentaries they have.
Yeah.
Hollywood is a fucking lunatic asylum.
Yeah.
Like
And then
that world is just nuts.
So what we've been able to see is the difference between childhood actors or singers who parents are like, you're going to make the money, we're going to live off you, you're going to make all the money, you do exactly what these people tell you to do, they don't provide you with the right amount of parental supervision, and this is the kind of shit that happens to you. Where you have other people like, for example, let's say Hilary Duff, who in her prime was like the it girl, who turned out to be completely normal. Well, because her parents were completely normal.
Well, and I think the big difference there too is that, and I heard an actor say this. They said celebrity is either a life or a job.
Right.
The people who treat it as a life are the ones that get all messed up. The ones that just say, my job is to be a celebrity every few days or so.
Right.
Or like, my job is to go act.
Yeah.
Then they keep their shit together.
Yeah, like these parents did not protect their children to say, yes, this is your job, and when you come home, this is normal. This is what we're going to do. Yeah. But sometimes the parents become so money hungry and they get caught up with, oh, you're a celebrity, so I'm kind of a celebrity too. They forget about being a parent.
Yeah.
And this is what happens, right? Brittany, if you have a child who you are getting into acting, modeling, singing, and all that, this is what happens when you don't keep your finger on top of everything that your child is. It's just like school. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah.
And some of y'all don't give a fuck about y'all kids being in school. I mean, if my daughter was in something, I was part of it too. Like, I'm there to protect my child. I'm there to advocate for my child. I'm there to supervise my child. Yes, you are the instructor, but I don't know you. I don't know what the fuck you do when you leave out of this dance studio. Every time you see her, you're going to see me. But these parents are just, I don't know. God bless. So a couple of months ago, we all got very excited because we heard, one of my top 5 favorite reality TV stars, Nene Leakes, was going to be on the upcoming season of The Traitors, which is something that all of us have been dying to have happen. Just like, yes, she's going to be on The Traitors. This is going to be great. She's going to kill it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Because Phaedra did really good on that show.
I like Phaedra on The Traitors more than I have ever in life liked her on The Real Housewives or anything else that she does. I loved her on Traitors. And then she got popular again. And then she reminded us all why we fucking hate her guts. But on Traitors, she was TV gold. I loved her personality. I think she played the game well. Like, she did the thing. So we just knew Nene was going to just tear this shit up, all right? And and a lot of us wanted to see her and Alan Cummings link up and see who was going to be the most outlandish with the outfits. Like, we wanted to be part of that. So then we hear that, Nene turned down The Traitors. She's not going to be on there. Portia's going to be on there because Nene said it wasn't enough money. And I'm thinking,
compared to what other job you're doing.
Exactly. So Nene has fallen into the category kind of like Teresa Giudice, I have to work every single day to maintain this lifestyle. Well, Teresa's doing it because she don't know how to pay her taxes, but they both work a lot. They work nonstop. Okay. And then we know, Nene has this YouTube talk show. Anybody who was the creme de la creme who has to now go to YouTube to have a talk show, not turning down no money. They're not turning down any kind of, they are not trying they are not turning away from this NBC money. I was just like, that's crazy. But we know some of these people could have inflated heads and they're like, that's not enough money. But I'm thinking at the same time, there's some bigger stars than Nene who have been on there who didn't turn down that money. But we're like, all right, whatever. But then the truth came out last week. And she's like, no, I didn't turn down Traders because of the money. Money is money. Unfortunately, her son, Brent, who we know damn near died about a year or two ago, was in a hospital for months on top of months on top of months, had some kind of heart condition, and he had to have a heart transplant.
Oh,
that's
shit.
pretty bad.
That's bad.
That's really bad.
Wow.
I mean, and we know Brent from when he was a little boy on the show, but we also watched Brent balloon, and just he was at that weight that, I know this is going to sound weird, but he had put on a lot of weight and he was not carrying it where it looked like healthy fat. You know what I mean? It looked like there's something underlying going on that's, you can just tell by the way a person's skin looks, their skin tone has that grayish kind of look to it. He was looking like that, and we didn't even know that he was sick, but I'm like, he's gotten big.
Well, and you can tell, too, I mean, the way that people carry fat, like, the more fat they have in certain places, that tells you, like, they have the worst kind of fat.
Yes.
Their cholesterol is probably terrible because that's the kind of fat that's growing.
I think he got all of it. I mean, to get a heart condition, and I want to say some of it was from his weight, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But anyway, he had to have a heart transplant, and unfortunately, she says, I turned down the Traders because I need to be here because my son is in the hospital and has been in the hospital because he's having complications with his body kind of starting to reject the heart.
Oh, man. Okay.
And you have to remember, Brent is like Skylar's age. Brent is like 22, 23, 24. I don't even think Brent is 24. And he also just had a baby. I think that baby is either a year old, a little bit under a year old. So it's just really, I don't know what Nene would do if something happens to this kid. Like, everyone has kids. It is the truth. Every parent has a favorite kid. You're just not supposed to be able to tell which kid is your favorite, but every parent has a favorite kid. This was her baby right here. And I think her other son, Bryson, has disappointed her so much in his adult life, like not having all these kids, different baby mamas, not working. Well, shit, we saw some of that on the show. Not working, being in and out of jail for every stupid reason underneath the sun. Like, and then this was her son from her marriage to Greg too. Right. So, she lost Greg, and I feel so bad for her. And I when that was said, I said, now that sounds right. That turning down money sounded just kind of odd to me. Just kind of odd. So
what did Greg die of?
Cancer.
Okay, cancer. Because he was only 67. Mm-hmm. I thought he was way older.
No. But Greg always looked kind of. Greg looked older. Yeah. When the show started, and it was just because he was so much older than the rest of the cast. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because all the women were in their 30s, and Greg was in his 50s at that, late 40s or 50s at that point. So we wish the best for Brent. So I actually am going to be on this, what is it, Smash Hit podcast. Yeah. This week, where we are recapping the first episode of Back to the Frontier, which is on HBO Max. And it's basically a show about three families, modern day families, who are having to strip everything down and live in the 1800s, okay? I'm going to say strip everything down. When you arrive, you turn, of course, all your electronics. You cannot keep your clothes, your shoes. You have to use everything that they used and did in the 1800s. The women have to take off all their makeup. Their hair has to change. I personally would have had a mental breakdown right there at that point. I'm like, I cannot do this. James, no, this is not what I'm going to do. Now, of course, while we're watching this, James is like, oh, I would love this. Oh, that would be great. I'm like, good. Just know you would be doing it alone. Well, one of the top reasons, and I got to give it to Margaret, who is the host of Smash Hit podcast, because so many people are so afraid to say obvious things about race right now. Everyone's so super sensitive. And while we were recording, I said, Margaret, I got to tell you, I was looking like, damn, were black people even free during this time? She goes, yeah, I wondered that too. And I'm like, okay, we can have a conversation. She goes, no, I wondered the same thing too. And there's a male gay couple on there. And like they address the issue with them because each family owns their land, but you have to be approved to own your land. You have to be a male head of household. So the two men are like, well, who's going to go be in there as head of household? Because there was no such thing as gay marriage back then or a gay family or anything like that. So they kind of touched on that a little bit because you see them like trying to decide. But I was like, okay, here come the big fucking twist. They're about to walk into this dusty ass office and they're going to be like, well, here's your approved stamp. Here's your approval. Immigrant, can't quite tell what the fuck y'all are, but we're going to go ahead and give you a stamp. And then they're going to get over to this black man. He's going to say, well, actually, your people were not allowed to own anything because y'all were under ownership during this time frame. Like we had to laugh at it because we were both kind of holding our breath during this point. Like, okay, what is about to happen? Because while my husband is over here like, that would be great. We could do this. We could do, and I'm like, who the fuck is we? Who? As in me and you, or you and the rest of your white side of the family? Because none of your black kin folks are going with you on this trip at all. And then like James had to look it up because I started getting kind of serious. I'm like, no, for real. Like if they're being real to the show in the time period, were black people free? And that's when James looked it up. He's like, well, y'all was kind of free, but not that far from it. Y'all was still like a toe into slavery. But most definitely in the South, we were not free yet.
Well, so it's kind of like, because they made it a point to say this was the 1880s. Mm-hmm. And I think that was really important for them to do. Because
at different parts of the 1880s, there was different things going on.
Well, I mean, yeah, so it was post-Civil War for sure. You know, the official end of slavery was in 1865, basically. Mm-hmm. And then you had a little bit of time when people kind of finally came around to it. But I think that's why they had to make it specific to the 1880s.
Yeah.
So people wouldn't be like, y'all wouldn't be allowed to do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It was so funny because I can't remember what scene it was. And James's dumbass goes, look, you girls weren't even allowed to own land back then. I'm like, well, I'm a double
well, women
something.
You couldn't vote?
There's and I'm just looking at him like,
you're right.
Sometimes you really forget I'm black, don't you? Like you really, he totally glazed over the whole black part. It was like, you gals couldn't even vote. You gals couldn't own land out there. You gals needed a guy. Like,
well, I figured you'd be happy that I was that colorblind.
But I'm not. I'm not at all. And I looked at him, I'm like, that's why they created this new t-shirt line where it says, walk into the room like you are a white male in America. Because y'all just walk into any room confident because y'all are the alpha predator.
What did I say? I said the other night, it has never been a bad time in the U.S. to be a white man. Never been a bad time.
It ain't that great to be a black man in the U.S. right now either. Like,
no, but it was a whole lot worse.
It was
at one point. I'm just saying.
But he says things like that. I'm like, that motherfucker still lives in Delulu. Like, the tiny bit we think he might be part of the culture, he ain't part of the motherfucking culture. Like, he'll say something, we all just look at each other like, did he just... He walks out the room and we all look at each other like, we know he's not racist.
Nope.
But then it's like, he still is a white man, ain't he? Yeah.
There are some other ists that we've talked about, elitist. Sorry. Did you really just suck that
I
Alani?
did, y'all. Y'all don't
Wow.
understand. My throat was completely dry and another word was not going to come out my mouth. I do apologize because it was very many things. It was unprofessional. It was rude. It was loud.
Completely unprofessional.
Yeah, it was a lot of things. And I do apologize. But at this point, if you've been following me, there shouldn't be anything new.
I'm already stressing about the audio quality of these shows because somebody made a comment, and now I got to worry about you just fucking doing sound effects.
Sometimes when we're recording, I forget we're actually recording, and I do shit like that. But those damn Alanis, the peach ones, they are so freaking good. And I was just parched. I really was.
Hashtag Alani, if you want a sponsorship, hey.
Yeah, every time I record on Pink Shade, we do video, and every time I have an Alani, I'm like, when are the Alani people going to take notice of me and give me some kind of brand deal? Because I almost always have an Alani whenever we are recording. And I don't even know if these fucking things give me energy, but they taste so goddamn good and they are only 10 calories. So, I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. So, yeah, so make sure you look out and you're following Smash Hit Podcast on Instagram. You can find them anywhere you can listen to a podcast. Like I said, I think my episode is dropping Wednesday. I don't know what today's date is.
It's going to be Wednesday, the 16th.
The 16th. Yes. So anyway, we have a special treat for you guys. I'm going to be interviewing Sundi Rose, who is a professor who teaches pop culture, reality television, and content creation. Isn't that exciting?
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. So we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. I have got a very special guest with us today. This is Miss Sundi Rose, and that is Sundi. I won't even tell you guys how producer James and I were trying to pronounce her name. I'm like, is it Sunday? Kind of like the Sunday that you eat. Is it Sundi? And then James was like, oh no, I think it's Sunday. And I'm like, I don't feel like that's how you say it. So we were wrong. It's Sundi.
I mean, I'll answer to anything. People in my life are a little bit more precious about it, but like I've said to you earlier, like once you hear my voice, you've sort of decided it's absolute Southern. My dad, it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like that. Like, and even if you're not from the South, when I say that, they're like, oh, it's Sunday. And I'm like, no, it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So, it's very colloquial.
So where are you from in the South?
I live in Georgia, and I live in Columbus. I was born and raised here.
Okay.
It's a little south of Atlanta. It's about an hour and a half south of Atlanta. I went to school in Athens, go Dogs. And I came here. My parents lived here. My parents lived here. Like, we are just like hometown folks. And okay. I have two children. One is also hometown folk. Like, she won't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. She's 26. She'll be with me forever. But I have a 16-year-old. Mm-hmm. I have a 16-year-old who is just raring to go. Like, there's going to be a sun-shaped hole in the door the minute he graduates. He's learning Icelandic right now. So,
oh wow.
For whatever reason. So he's got big plans. So
I got to go back because you made a reference to Athens, Georgia, and for us, that's from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene Leakes and Phaedra Parks are from Athens, so I'm like,
oh, that's right. We're all the Georgia folks. And so anytime anybody ever mentions Athens, mentions University of Georgia, mentions UGA, you always gotta go Dogs. And
got it. So. Yeah. We know that you're a mom. Mm-hmm. Got a 26-year-old. I have a 23-year-old who's still here. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm like, I'd be okay if she's here forever because I get super paranoid about the world. Mm-hmm. But I think she's planning on the next couple of years moving out. And I'm just like, you don't know how to fry. You don't know how to make an egg. So,
well, now's the time. Survive? Now's the time to start getting some skills acquired. My daughter lives on her own because she has a son of her own. He'll be 4. Yeah, he'll be 4 in October. And
October what?
October. He's October 8th. She's October 2nd. Okay. My wife's is October 3rd.
Okay.
And my mother's is October 7th, and my grandmother's is October 5th. So I am just inundated by Libras. Like, there's just When I told my daughter
Here's
that I
one
was
more.
coming, when I told my daughter I was coming, she was like, "Well, you definitely know how to deal with a Libra." I was like, "I do indeed."
Yeah, we can be something else. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know about your personal life. Tell us what you do professionally, because real quick, I'll tell you guys how we met. So from Pink Shade, Mary Payne had this unexpected illness that she was she had to have surgery. She was hospitalized, and you had messaged about, hey, if you guys need someone extra, let me know. So that's how we got in contact. But tell everyone what it is that you do. Very interesting.
So I am a university professor at the university in my town at Oklahoma State University, and I teach content creation and pop culture studies, mostly surrounding like writing about these sorts of things and how to craft narratives and kind of craft writing stories and like that for different mediums, and pop culture studies. That's my area of scholarship. I just am interested in all things like media and how like the intersection of the way we consume and what we consume and how we sort of like figure out what makes culture go on and on. And then also too, a sort of side hustle as a service journalist for a paper here, which is more about community. I write about a lot of different stuff, but I've written about a lot of many things over the years, mostly about TV, mostly about reality TV, because I teach a class, and I have been teaching a class, reality TV as anthropology. So the what I write professionally and what I teach professionally, there's like quite a lot of dovetail for that, because I'm just obsessed with it. And I am just deeply online, probably to my detriment. And I'm just obsessed with what people like. Like, I'm just like, what do we like?
So, we're all about that. That's totally our jam, reality TV, pop culture, and all that good stuff. But it's interesting to actually talk to someone who teaches the class. So give us a play-by-play as if we were sitting in your class, and, tell us what you talk about reality TV and content creation, like as if we're in your class today.
So the reality as anthropology class, they come in, and lots of times they're young, like 18, 19, 20. So the media that they consume
My
is a
age
little
group.
bit different. The shows that they consume is very different. And I also show shows that are probably 20 years old. I pick like a cultural issue, some sort of American issue, and then I pair it with a show. So like, for instance, if we're talking about gender politics or the double standard in sexuality, I showed them a episode of Jersey Shore, which was older than they are. So
boy.
I know they were very scandalized by Jersey Shore, but we also talk about like the American incarceration system, and I show them 60 Days In, which that one's always a hit. I don't know if you've ever watched that one, but 60 Days In is always a hit. And I do have to give a trigger warning though. I'm like, listen, if you have any experience with any kind of like justice system, this is a really hard watch. And then I'm like, we watched Undercover Boss when we talked about the American dream and the class system. So we assign a cultural issue for the week. I have them read some academic literature about it, oftentimes articles written by people who are much smarter than me. We come in, we watch it, and then we talk about it. And then as the semester moves on and on, they start to write about it and they start to dissect it, and they talk about the cultural mythologies of it. They talk about sort of the connotations. You were talking about the housewives. I had a student write a paper about the Atlanta housewives, and her entire paper was the difference between a lowercase housewife and an uppercase housewife, and how those two things. Right, so smart, right? And about how those two things have been really different. So if you see an uppercase housewife, we know exactly what particular niche that we're talking about. And then they write a final paper, and then at the end of the semester they do a project. They usually let them use AI because they're all chomping at the bit, and they construct some sort of reality TV adjacent idea. I've had students write, or have AI write scripts for reality TV. There was last semester there was like a Bachelor spoofy kind of thing that they did, and it's amazing what they have not been experienced. Like some of them have never even seen an episode, had never even heard of the show Jackass, never even heard of it. Like,
God,
I know they're very young.
And it's so funny because to me, it doesn't seem like Jackass premiered that long ago.
But when you put it like that, it was
I
kind of a long
mean,
time ago.
22 years
Yeah.
ago, 25 years
Yeah.
ago almost, and most of my students are younger than that.
Yeah, I don't think my daughter knows about Jackass. She's 20. It just doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
It doesn't. Like, you see those memes online that, like, 1990 feels like 10 years ago to me.
Right.
But
yeah.
no, ma'am. It's literally about to be like 40 years ago.
That just don't sound right to me. I'm just like, are you sure? Did you calculate? Did you carry the one? Like, I mean, is it really like that long ago?
Well, I'm just going to deny. Like, no, what?
Yeah.
What deny? I don't know what you mean. It's still 2002 for me.
Like,
And then most of the time, the students who are in that reality TV class, they often sort of like move into my other classes, and the content creation classes are varied, right? Like it could be, this past semester, I taught one, social media for the professional. And so it's just about like strategies, how to write professional things. Most of the time, the students that are English majors, they're also communication majors. There's a lot of overlap these days in a communications, a PR, a marketing, and an English degree because of the world that we live in. And then sometimes I teach content creation as journalism, which it used to be just journalism. And then it became content creation and journalism. And now those two classes are separate. There's a journalism class and there's a content creation class. And it's mostly about like how to create a brand and promote a brand. And we even do like a color analysis and a font analysis. We get down to the nitty gritty of it too. And then it winds up, they create a brand, spend all semester promoting it, and then they put it together at the end, and they usually leave with a portfolio. But these students are such smart cookies, though, that lots of them have already come into the class having a side hustle. So, for instance, I have a student who does crochet, right? And she has a little side hustle that she was already doing it on Etsy. So really everything that she did and all of the stuff that she was like pimping in the class was really sort of parlaying that into a real, like a real scenario of promotion. So, I mean, they're a different sort. Like, whereas they've never seen Jackass, but they have like 3 gigs already by 22. So, I mean,
that's impressive right there. Yeah, very impressive. So, I'm a big pop culture fan. So, what do you think was the height or some of the heights of pop culture? For example, whenever Michael Jackson was on trial for molesting young boys, that was a height to me for our generation in pop culture. Sure. But what, just, off the top of your head, what are some of those highest moments?
Well, I'm definitely going to show my age right now, right? When we're talking about things being 25 years ago. But that pocket of about 1998 to about 2004, right? It was before social media, but there was this intersection of so many weird and crazy things. Like, all at once, we had TRL that was getting millions and millions of eyeballs, but also Survivor was on. And two different audience was watching that. And then Sex and the City was on. And then we had the Britney versus Christina situation. In 2001, all at once, we got Beyonce, Eminem, the Osbournes, and the Anna Nicole Smith boom. Like, that was just in one year. And since social media has come, it's really sort of diluted it. It's not all concentrated, right? Like, you could ask anybody in America about the show The Osbournes in 2001, and they would have at least a passing awareness of it. And so it was a time to be alive. Like, what a time to be alive. We were also really scared that the world was going to end we were going to death by robot.
Yes, I remember that. Yep.
So we, that really was the coalescence of the biggest shift ever. Once social media came around, we've hit another big old shift here because, the entertainment looks very different. Not everybody is sitting down in front of the same screen. And like nowadays, this business where they're releasing one episode a week, like, no, I don't want to go back to that. I want, just give it all to me right now.
Yeah. And I don't think that, God, I sound old for saying kids nowadays.
Shaking your fist.
I don't think they understand that when we were growing up, in order to watch a show, you had to be home at that time sitting in front of your television to watch it. TRL to us was, hey, NSYNC or, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, they're coming out with a new video. Okay, if you wanted to watch that, you needed to go home straight after school, sit in front of your television, and wait till Carson Daly?
Yes.
Did the countdown and then introduce, the newest video. They have no concept of that. There was no, let me Google it, let me YouTube it, let me just get on, the Reddit, and I can see those things. No. It's like, no, bitch, you have to sit down, you have to fucking wait. And if you miss it, you have to wait again.
If you missed it, that was it. And I remember the 90210. That was how it was. Like on Wednesday nights, we'd all get together. If you missed it, and I would come to school. I was in high school. I would come to school the next day, and they were talking about it.
Yep.
And there was just no way for me to access it. It sounds so foreign to us, but it's like that was it. Too bad, so sad.
You're shit out of luck. No, you literally were. I mean, nowadays, I don't even watch award shows anymore because you don't have to. Because, before the award show is actually over with, someone has already downloaded it onto, Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you can see the performance right there without having to devote the 2 hours to sitting down and watching every single person's category and award and performance. They know nothing about that. Like, we had to be committed, and it wasn't even a big deal to us because we didn't know anything differently.
We didn't know any better. I mean,
no, we didn't know anything better.
There was no, sitting in line watching your phone while you're waiting for like your driver's license or whatever. Because no, we were just having to sit out there and just raw dog it with whatever we were reading the posters on the wall and like looking at the back of the wrappers in our purse because we just didn't know anything.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes it amazes me how much we rely on our GPS. Because I'm like, okay, I was in high school. We were still in my friend's car. We would go all the way to downtown Houston to different bars. Like, how the fuck did we know where we were going? And it's just like, hey, you turn here, you look for the blue building. Like, they have no clue. None.
And remember when we would print out the maps? I was just thinking about this yesterday. Whenever I was 21, I flew to Louisville to visit my sweet mate with her friends, and my boyfriend at the time picked me up. But we had a map, but I guess he didn't understand how to read it. So instead of driving to Columbus, Georgia, which is where we lived, Columbus, Mississippi, and so we got halfway across Alabama, and we were like, "Hey, man, this doesn't look familiar."
Right.
And we turned right around because there was no Siri telling us. And I just thought about that story too, because thinking about how to get around and how to navigate the world, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to do it now. I don't think I would be able to do it now.
Gosh, no, there's no, look, I am 45 years old. I don't have to when I use GPS, I need it to talk to me. I don't even do looking at the map. I'm like, if she's not talking to me, we're not going anywhere. I need her to tell me turn left by the Shell. Like I need that assistance. So there's no way that I can go back to living like that. I wouldn't want to.
I know. It would be
convenience.
Terrible. I mean, I'm gonna be worthless. If the apocalypse happens, I'm worthless.
I'm done.
Just leave me for dead.
Give me a week. Give me a week because that's all I got. Like, I don't have trazodone. I can't sleep. I don't have anxiety medicine, so I'm walking around crazy. Like, I don't. It's just
heaven forbid my glasses break. What? Well,
I'm blind. I'm totally blind. So, okay. So, what do you think has been the biggest shift when you look at reality, when you look at pop culture, and why do you think there was such a reason for the shift?
Okay, so the shift came, I think, so I talked about like sort of like 2000s, but then once we got social media, right, we started sort of moving away from this idea of being a sellout. Now, children, ask your parents. Being called a sellout at some point was the absolute worst thing you could do. Like, that man's a sellout. And so, but we stopped doing that because it became okay to be famous. It became okay to see our celebrities be rich, and sort of this economy of validation, of relevance, started to be the way of it. Because I don't know if you guys remember the feud between like Pearl Jam and Nirvana. Pearl Jam was selling out stadiums, and Nirvana was too cool for school. They're like, oh well, we just really don't want our music to be so mainstream. Meanwhile, Pearl Jam is mainstream all the way to the bank, and they're still trying to, like figure out how to pay the mortgage. And that was the moment I think that we started to figure out that it's okay to make money. It's okay to be successful. And the 90s was really sort of terrible in that way. And then we became like identity driven. And I give this example too sometimes in my class about how different it is. If you think about Paris Hilton in maybe 2004 or whatever, with
totally
the voice and the
now.
brand and the little dog, all of that. And then the cut to now in 2025, it's a different, like she was performing being authentic. Whereas now I believe there's a little bit more authenticity. She even uses her real voice sometimes.
Her real voice. And that is insane to hear her real voice. She's like, holy shit balls, what was that? Like that is how she really, and it's the same with Britney Spears as well, because she has told us, they told me to sing in that baby voice, in that little raspy voice, because it would be sexier. But she goes, that's not actually my real singing voice, but that's just how she's used to singing now.
Yeah.
So,
which is very upsetting in its own. That's the whole conversation about please sing in a baby voice so we will be more appealing, like
sexy. Yeah.
For sure. And I think too that the more we became online and the more we started sort of interacting with other people, even back to like the days of the MySpace, even before Facebook came around, before we started becoming, once we started becoming online, being popular in that way among the people that that became really fun. So then once you became, remember you had to do like your top 8 on your MySpace. And so that was like the earliest form of getting likes and retweets, right? Followers. That was the earliest form of it, because if you were on a bunch of people's top 8, then you were sort of the hot commodity.
Right.
And then as social media becomes more and more and more savvy, like think about the early days of YouTube. Do you remember that kid, Ryan's World? Do you remember him? He was like a 10-year-old and he just filmed himself opening toys. And by the time he was 10, he was like, he was like a millionaire. He had $10 million.
Multi-millionaire.
And it's that I think everybody's like, oh, okay, all right, I see it. That's what I want to do. That's where I want to be right there. And then Vine came along, and then Instagram, then all of that started coming along, and we're like, okay, all right, well, let's do it. And now here we are.
Here we are. So what reality TV shows do you think laid down the foundation for reality TV?
Okay, so I think there are a handful that are like the grandfathers of things. So like every single genre of reality, we can trace it back to one or the other. So first and foremost, The Real World, 1990.
Absolutely.
Any show that puts together a group of people, like even like Bad Girls Club or the Celebrity Rehab, any of that kind of stuff. Is based on Real World. And then Survivor. There is a million iterations of surviving. Even now, we even have to be naked and surviving.
Yeah, naked and afraid. Yes.
That's right. We're naked and afraid. Or then we're dating and surviving. Or we are surviving the cold. Or we're surviving like all of that. So definitely Real World, Survivor, and The Bachelor. Because there would be no Love Island without The Bachelor.
Right.
Big Brother and Real World too. I think Real World probably gave... kind of gave birth to Big Brother, but Big Brother introduced us to like the voting on the folks, and then
the
they
competition part,
to be able to watch them all the time.
Right.
Like I can't imagine. Obviously, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because that became very lifestyle-ish. We were very interested in what they were wearing, what they were buying, what makeup they were using.
Right.
And this is controversial, so bear with me. But it's a show called The Swan. Do you remember this show? It only aired like 3 or 4 episodes because it was highly controversial. It is a show where a woman volunteers to enter and get a makeover, except the makeover is so extreme. There's plastic surgeons, there's hair transplants, there's dental work. Dr. Dubrow, Heather Dubrow's husband, he was on that show. He's one of the plastic surgeons on that show. So they enter as an ugly duckling.
I remember now.
Right?
Now I remember.
And then they leave it with a swan. And these women were like months and months of plastic surgery and all of this really intense stuff. But that kind of gave rise to the makeover show.
Right.
So we have all of our makeover shows too. And then also, of course, American Idol. So like those are all of our little buckets that every show that we watch today, we can drop it in one of those buckets that they created.
I have to agree with you with your list. And, I always tell people that I am reality TV obsessed. I mean, I do it for a living. We podcast about it. And everyone's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have been in reality TV since The Real World. Said I never missed a single episode. And I still say that Real World New Orleans, the first time in New Orleans, was one of the best, to me, was the best season of The Real World. I'm like, I've been going strong, like Road Rules and things like that. And then we got crazy shows like Flavor of Love. And
that's one of my favorites.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites. Flavor of Love.
It was hilarious.
And I had a student write about Flavor of Love last semester, 2025. She wrote about Flavor of Love, and it was really, really smart too. But I really like Flavor of Love because that was like a whole different version of the dating show, because it also was Rock of Love too. Don't forget Rock of Love.
And shows like that gave us a chance to see celebrities in a completely different light. I mean, up until then, Flavor of Love, we just, we knew him from being a rapper and being like, kind of like fuck the police and, this version of him. And then we see him all of a sudden, he is trying to find love. And you're like, what? What? Like, okay. And that was different. And look at it now. We've got celebrities have all these shows. And they give us a glimpse into their real lives, even though all of that is so manicured anyway. But we fall for it.
Yeah, we do. Like we obviously, because we love it, we gobble it up. But I mean, also
we do.
This honorable mention to the I Love New York, the Tiffany Pollard franchise of it. Yes. So like we can't. I mean, she is still out here just like making money. She is. Out here just like work. She's like one of the hardest working past reality stars ever. Because she is really making money out there. So
And then look at all the memes that she has. Like, what is this show on E? They're all in the house. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it the mother-daughter experiment? Because her and her mother were on that one too.
Her mom was an insane person, like just really fun. Like you see Tiffany and you're like, okay, Tiffany's crazy. And then you met her, mom was like, whoa.
What did they call her? Was it the bishop or the like?
Yes, it was something like it was some religious title that she gave herself. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I'm like, this person is totally insane, but so fascinating. I'm like, I could totally sit down and watch a show with her because the shit that she does and says is just so unbelievable. I can't remember the name of the show. House of Villains. So New York has been on like 3 seasons of that show. They keep bringing her back. There's never been an explanation. Well, the explanation is clear. She's TV gold. Yes. No matter what situation you put her in, she's gonna still. And I think not just that we like her, but the castmates also like her.
She must be really, really charismatic in person as well, too, because there is a particular bravado about her, but she must be really endearing because you're right. I've read things. People love her and they are so drawn to her, and they are always, people are agreeing to do things that she's doing almost because she's doing them. I mean, she's really a reality TV darling. I love it.
Yeah, she is. And I got to watch her on, what was it? College Hill, which is where celebrities, they go to a traditionally Black university and they go back to get their degree. And she was on there, but we got to see a different version of her, like more of her innocence and more of her insecurities. She's still batshit crazy, but it's just something about her that's just, you're like, I don't know why I like this bitch, but I just like her. And that's how you have a lifelong career in reality television.
Yes. So she's doing what Jax Taylor wishes he could do, right?
Yes.
Like, what he thought he was going to be able to do until he for real, because he's also like a, insane and batshit crazy person, but like not in a way that's fun to watch. Like New York,
he's in a way of we will probably see him snort a line of coke off of a guy's dick. That is how crazy and drug addicted he is.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have a show like from Jack's Behind Bars, because like he's just like popping a blood vessel every time he's on screen.
Yeah, I mean he just got out of rehab because we're watching The Valley, which we're covering on Pink Shade, and we're just wondering how long he's going to be out, because he's narcissistic, and I use that term very lightly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that he's got some mental things that he hasn't addressed. And then the bottom line is the drug addiction.
I was going to say, it's called cocaine addiction. That is what it's called.
Yeah, that's the big thing. It's like, when it all comes down to it, you are a cokehead. Like, just fix that, and maybe you can fix your life.
It is about the pasta, which I know you didn't watch Vanderpump Rules, but that was like, there was just that whole, yes, it definitely is about the pasta. It's been always about the pasta with Jack Taylor, and I'm interested to see how it plays out, especially as they start deciding about whether to renew it or not, because there's so much chatter and so much discourse online right now about folks, because you're watching it. It's sometimes you just kind of have to watch through your hands. You're like, oh my goodness.
We watch the show, and then immediately we get on social media and see things, and you're just like, huh? So we already know that they are going to do another season of The Valley, but this time it's going to be with some of the stars of Shaws of Sunset.
Really?
Yes. So it's going to be Reza, Gigi, and MJ are going to be on it. And I'm just like, this is my Roman Empire. I'm so happy. I love the Shaws of Sunset. Like,
yeah,
Gigi's still home. She's still, I think, homicidal, because I think you can blink wrong and that bitch will throw a knife at you.
I mean, this is TV. Like, so that's the TV I need to see. Like, that is Bravo pivoting and understanding an assignment, because this season of
this
The
is
Valley
smart.
was just not it. Yeah, it was just not it.
It was so much like real world going on, with the drug addiction, the divorce, just some of it just got dark. You know what I mean? It's just kind of dark. Yeah. And like, we like these shows for shits and giggles. We want to see these people act crazy, drink, shop, and all this, but it got real deep this season. Yeah, okay, so speaking of reality TV, what are your top 5 favorite reality TV shows and why?
Okay.
It could be past or current.
Okay, hold on. I made a list. All right, so first and foremost, heads above any other, is Couples Therapy on Showtime. Are you watching this show? Okay, so that's your assignment for the week. So it is just what it sounds. Her name is Dr. Orna. She's a licensed psychologist. She has couples come in. They go over the series of a few months. But the most interesting about it is they hide the cameras in the office, so it gives the illusion of privacy. So there's not like a cameraman standing in there with a boom mic. And these people just really open up. And I am a nosy Jones. I am just like, ooh, what? He cheated on you how many times? What? He wants to do what? Like, it's so good. So Couples Therapy, by and large. Flavor of Love, obviously, it's on my list too. And then this one is more theoretical. The Ultimatum Queer Love, more theoretical than it is in practice. Because if you've watched it, it's kind of hard to sort it out. Like, you're kind of like, ugh, is it boring? Are they liars? I don't know, whatever. But there's no drama like lesbian drama. So I'm here for the lesbian drama.
And see, I think I talked about this last week on a show, because someone, I want to say it was Matt Marr, he was telling me about a show. He says it's so good, but it's all lesbians. And I have never watched just a show about lesbians. I'm always attracted to gay men shows, like RuPaul's Drag Race. Top 5 reality TV shows for me. He's like, no, there's nothing like a lesbian fight. I'm like, well, I like a good fight.
And like, I've sort of listened to them talk about it too, and I'll borrow this phrase. There's a lot of like intense gazing and tight holding. Do you know what I mean? And like there's just a lot of like boiling up, and they're really not beating the allegations of lesbian stereotypes. They're not beating them. Like, they are immediately in love, then they're immediately mad at each other, and it's really good. And more in theory though, just because it's a little about, just representation and just nosy Jones. But America's Next Top Model, which in those earlier seasons, the ones with Janice Dickinson are real problematic, right? Yes, but my daughter and I, we revisit this every Christmas. It's like a tradition. Christmas Eve, we sit and we watch America's Next Top Model. And Tyra, like it or love it, she gave us this gift. It's the gift.
She did.
And then lastly is Drag Race, because only these late, like the last maybe 4 or 5 seasons, because these folks, they don't have to just do drag though. Like, they're not just doing drag. They have to sew and design and dance and do comedy and choreograph and like it's all of that. And so everyone,
and act, yes,
yeah. And so those are my top. I mean, I watch some trash though, Keisha. Like I'm unapologetic about it. Like I'm talking about Brother Husbands, MILF Manor. I am in the gutter. I'm in the gutter. Seeking Sister Wife. Like I love it. So those are the ones that I, definitely couldn't live without. The other ones, it's just sort of fodder. But I will watch trash and I will get in the gutter.
Yes, sure. I have to agree with you. And for anyone who's never watched RuPaul's Drag Race, it is some of the absolute best entertainment there is on television. And season 5 is my all-time favorite season. There's never been another season like it. Like each season, there's like some of the cast, you're like, oh, that person's so great. Season 5, after like the first 2 or 3 episodes, everyone is fantastic. Like you just fall in love with all of them.
Who was season 5? I can't remember.
So season 5 is Alyssa Edwards, Alaska, Coco Montrese, who we had Alaska Talks, that whole crew at Detox.
I met Alyssa Edwards.
Who's my favorite drag queen. It was just excellence. And that was the first season I ever saw. And I was just like, oh my God, like this has been missing from my life.
Because if you go back and look at some of the earlier seasons, like the first season, it's so janky. It was so janky. So they've come along.
It looks like Vaseline's on the screen, the camera lens. I'm like, oh man. Okay, so I know you teach about content creation, and I tell you, it is a beast. And why and when do you think we all fell into this world of content creation? Do you think that we were forced to go into it?
Well, I think the minute that it became lucrative and that you could monetize it, folks started to want to do it. And then it became accessible. So Instagram, we used to just upload our pictures. Like I go back at my very first picture that I ever uploaded on Instagram, it's just some old, rickety picture of my son standing at like Halloween or whatever. But now it's more about lifestyle curation. It's this and it's the lights and it's this and this. And so the promise of taking that to the bank is very, very valuable to people. They really want it because they think it's accessible. It's right here with me, right? Like I've got my phone in my hand. Anybody can do it, which we all know not everybody can do it.
Anybody cannot.
But then like around, I don't know, 2016 or so, whatever year Vine came out. Remember, do you remember Vine? Which Vine?
I never got on Vine, but I remember.
Me either, really. Because Vine, and so TikTok kind of gobbled up Vine. And then so, people were making money on YouTube long before COVID. But once we got to COVID, we were, first off, we were all TikTok stars because what else we were doing. And then 2, people had to pivot into a different stream of income. And now once they're like, oh, hey, man, I can do this. I can make money on that. So now it becomes like really, really, it feels like it's instant. It feels like it's easy work, which everybody knows it's not easy work. If it was, we'd all be out here rich off our, TikTok dollars. But I think that's why it became, anytime something is going to return money or you can earn money on it, it becomes a priority, period. Right. And then, but we'll see how far the wave is. I'm listening to a book right now about influencers, and I'm wondering how far we can sort of carry this particular bubble of monetization there. Cause I mean,
it's not going to last forever because then the newest thing is going to come along and then everyone's going to jump on that. But I will say there are some influencers who were influencers before it became a big thing. Like this is how they live their life. Like it's such a weird thing because I really got into watching influencers during COVID. I mean, because we didn't have shit else to do.
Right. I mean, yeah.
And so, so I have followed not a lot at all. But there's been like a few, and you watch how much they have changed over the years. And then you get to a point, you're like, this person is not even likable to me anymore because we have just watched the money change them so much. It becomes almost like a competition. Like there's a group of influencers from Texas that it's like, You got to keep having babies. Oh, you had a baby? Now I have to have a baby.
Yeah.
Oh, you just bought a new house? I got to buy a new house. Oh, now you're going to build a house. Okay, now I got to build a house. It's just, and then the friendships don't last. Like there's no, it's just weird how much you fall in love with someone's life and their lifestyle. And then you're like, this person really has kind of a lot of narcissistic traits in them that I didn't notice way back when. It's like, it's always like, watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. Which that's what we do, but then sometimes it becomes like I don't know if desperation is the right word.
I think it is.
But it becomes insincere. Like they're not really connecting to their audience like they once did. Now you can tell it's just about making the money.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the thirst to stay relevant too. And
yes, that's perfect.
I watched a documentary about the mommy bloggers too, who are, you were talking about like having children and like their lifestyle became their brand. And so they're having more children and their children's faces are on there. And then it became a job for their 6-year-old. These 6-year-old children are filming like 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours a day.
Yes.
And it's really sort of changing the chemistry of what's, I mean, it's literally the new American dream right now. If you go into a kindergarten class right now and you say, hey, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? 30 years ago, it would be, oh, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a firefighter. Now it's, I want to be on YouTube. I want to be an influencer. It's quite literally the new American dream. And I mean, I don't know.
It's scary to a point.
Yes, because are we just gonna? Isn't there a finite amount of things that we can like pimp and brand and sell? Are we gonna run? I mean, like, what happens when we get to the end of the road? Like, what else are you influencing? Right? Like, it's questionable.
It's very questionable, but I mean, I give props to people who are able to do it. I have kind of gotten in, very much at the starting race of it.
Yeah.
And you know, TikTok is a completely different beast from Instagram and Facebook. And then you get people who email you all the time and you don't know, like, can you promote this brand? Can you promote? And I'm like, are you fucking even real? Do you even like know what I do? What do you know about me? Or you're just, it's a numbers game. And it's just, you look at it like it's fascinating, but sometimes it's just like, it's kind of a dog eat dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a lot of work. I mean, it is a lot of work, and it is a lot of time consumption that you have to devote to it. Like you're saying, sorting through DMs, making sure this is like your edit, and you have to switch registers for every single platform, right? Like you can't just like, that's what I tell my students, like you can't just make a video because TikTok is their platform of choice and their instinct is to make a TikTok and then just want to put it on Instagram and want to put it on Facebook, but it's not going to perform the same, right? Because, you know, your grandma is not going to appreciate the style or the look of a TikTok, whereas, you know, whatever you're on Instagram and everybody has a different voice, you have to have a different voice. That's a skill that you absolutely have to have.
And it's not easy. And I can just speak for myself, you know, whereas on Instagram or Facebook, views are great. Likes are great. On TikTok, not so much. It's just, it's a different beast. And then you have to get used to it. And then you want to roll hot. Look how close we were to losing TikTok in December. You have to remember that kind of stuff. Yeah. I kept like refreshing and refreshing. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't have a television. Like, I don't have access to all these other things. Like, you know, how am I going to spend 2 hours today where, you know, I usually am on TikTok. So let me ask you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it was a gripping drama, right? To whether we're going to have it or not, Yeah.
Yeah. So what 5 attributes do you think a person should have to be a successful content creator?
So the number one thing, you got to commit to the bit. Like if you are going to be this particular person, if you're going to be, you know, opinionated, or you're going to do skits, or you're going to do dances, or you're going to wear costumes, whatever your bit, commit to it. Don't do it half-ass, because people can sniff out when you are like not performing. And so the next would be authenticity, like whatever that means. That word is kind of, you know, kind of fuzzy, but whatever you're doing, just make sure that it feels like you. But then also too, you got to have self-awareness. What is you, right? And I tell my students that a good way to sort of understand like what your brand is or what your vibe is to ask your friends, what do you think about me? when you think about me? Like, what are some words to describe me? Right. And then you can lean into that, because you have to understand what you are. You don't want to be you don't want to be like a fish, trying to ride a bicycle, because that's just not your deal. And then be flexible about it. If this doesn't work, you gotta, that'll work. Maybe this will work. We're gonna pivot. Oh, let me change this. And it's just like, because you were saying, how they look, how influencers look very different than that. Sometimes that works to their favor, and sometimes it doesn't. Because if you're always sort of following this trend or changing to do one thing or another, then it feels kind of like thirst. So my thing is just like, know what you like, what's good about you and what's fun about you and what you can do well, and just lean in.
I think that's actually, for someone like me who is just starting and trying to decide if I want to do content creation, I think that's really good advice. That, yeah. All right. So before we let you go,
okay.
I know you love TV. I know you love movies just like I do. So Circle Ranks just came out with their list of the 50 best shows of all time. Now, producer James told me you're not going to read all 50, which was my initial plan. So I'm going to read off. He's like, Keisha, you cannot do it. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm going to give you their top 10.
Okay.
And you tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Breaking Bad.
As number one?
That's their number one.
I agree that it's top 10. Agree.
Okay.
Iffy on number one.
Here's the number one.
Disagree.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'll tell you what. So you disagree with, I'm just going to throw this in there real quick.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number 50 on their list is The Bear.
I disagree that it should be last.
Okay. So you don't think that's where it should go?
Maybe middle. It's still ongoing, right? It's still ongoing. So.
Okay. So let's finish up the top 10. So number 2 is The Sopranos.
Yes. Agree.
Okay.
Hard agree.
I agree too.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Band of Brothers. I've never seen it.
Me either. I mean, I have an awareness of it, but I try to avoid war stuff. But I don't know. For the World War II, like uncles and granddads, I think that would probably agree for that. Yeah.
Okay. Number 4 is The Wire.
Yes. Agree. Hard agree.
I've never seen it. I know so many people have seen it. They're like, Keisha, why haven't you watched this show? It's so good. So the fact that so many people have told me about it, I think it needs to be in the top 10.
And it's old enough now, and so many of the characters have gone on to do things. You're going to recognize every single person. You're going to be like, oh, God, that's that guy. Oh, it's that guy. It's so good. I won't be a fusser, but it is really good. It's really good.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So number 5 is Game of Thrones. I agree with this one.
Yeah. No,
you don't agree?
I feel betrayed by Game of Thrones. I feel like
they really let me down.
They really let me down.
Yes.
And we were just talking about, because I did teach a Game of Thrones class too, where we talked about like the politics of it, whatever. Yeah. And I just feel like I'm not going to reward bad behavior by agreeing for number 5.
Yeah, I mean, look, they shit on us with the season finale. I'm like, they totally played us for pickles. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, what? Like, all of us thought we were screenwriters. Like, I could have wrote a better script than that for the season finale. Like, I mean, they just really let us down hard.
I mean, for sure. And too, not to be this snooty person, but the last like half of it, it was so dark I couldn't even see it. All of
us were trying to adjust our the settings on our TV.
What am I watching?
It was like literally we had to get on Facebook and say, guys, is it dark? Is there something on? We all thought it was us, but it's like, no, that's just
but they gaslit us and was like, oh no, that's how you're supposed to enjoy it. That's in its cinematic way. No, hard pass.
No, you had us all making eye doctor appointments the next day because we thought we were going to have blind and shit. Okay, so number 6 is Better Call Saul, which I've never seen.
I'll agree with that. I'll agree with Better Call Saul for sure.
Number 7, I'm embarrassed by looking at this list and the amount of shows I have not seen for such a person who I love TV so much. But I realized I really like reality TV a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And, studies say that people who enjoy reality TV are inherently smarter and more well-equipped to deal with the world. So I'm just saying, I think we're doing it right.
I'm going to agree. I think so too. So the next one is Attack on Titan.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either.
I've never even heard of that one.
I've never heard of that show.
Is it animated? Is it Star Wars universe?
I don't know.
I bet it is Star Wars universe.
Huh? And I most definitely have not seen it.
Yeah,
so let's see. Is it? I see you're looking it up.
Yeah. It's animated. That's probably why it's not on my radar. Yeah. A Japanese manga series.
Yeah, no, never seen it, never gonna watch it. Okay, so number 8, and I cannot say this word correctly. I always look like a half illiterate person. I'm like, it's Chernobyl, right?
No, that's right. Yeah, that's good. It was
I have to think hard.
I don't think I would agree with it being top 10.
Top 10.
My son, but that was one of his favorites. He loved it. It was really graphic too.
2019?
Radiation sickness. Okay. It was really graphic.
Number 9 is Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Agree. Big agree.
I sat down and watched an episode. Like, it's been on, and my husband's been watching it. But no.
There's 3,211 seasons though, so it's too late. It's too late. If you can dip in and dip out, but it's be a full-time job to watch them all. Like, no.
And I'm almost at my peak of what shows I can watch because I watch so many shows for work and enjoyment. I'm like, I don't know. So number 10 is Avatar: Last Airbender, which surprisingly I did watch.
Okay, me too. That's funny too. That is.
I watched it.
I'm feeling a little bit in the loop now, for sure. I agree with that one, especially it being 10. I mean, I find it interesting that 2 animated shows made the top 10.
Top 10.
That does feel. I wonder if that's reflective of a larger feeling, because that feels surprising to me. Are people out here watching animated stuff and we just are missing the boat?
I think my husband does like every day.
Okay, all right.
I think a lot of guys like but a lot of girls like it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then just like to compare, here like some other ones that are on the list. Like, let's see, The Penguin.
Ooh, that one was good.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
It's number 22 on the list.
See, I feel like that one could be swapped out with one of the top 10s. Like The Penguin, think so too. And maybe because it's so new. Because sometimes the show will go off the wheels. Will go off the rails. Like, it's Looking at You, American Horror Story. And so maybe they're kind of like giving it some time to flesh out, maybe.
I don't know, but if there's if there's a scripted show you want to watch, The Penguin most definitely needs to be on your list. So here's one I thought was funny, but then I thought about it and I'm like, I kind of agree. Gravity Falls is on there. So
I have it. My son is of the age where he watched that, and like, he was obsessed. The fandom
so was my daughter.
Gravity Falls is they are like so hardcore. They're still like I still read on Reddit. They show up. I agree. I think that's good. It was cute.
I think
and
so
it was
too.
Interesting.
It was cute. It was funny. It was one of the first animated series that introduced. I think one of the characters was a lesbian, so they introduced that. And to me, I think that's so important because our kids live in this world, and that is part of our world. And then for our kids to just see it, and it's not this huge deal on one of their animated TV shows, I thought was great. So I'm going to do like a couple of more. See what you think.
Okay. Give it.
Sons of Anarchy was number 26.
Hell yes. Hard flippin' yes. I am rewatching Animal Kingdom right now on Netflix, and all Animal Kingdom is it's Sons of Anarchy, but surfers on the beach. Like, it's it's really. They just released it on Netflix because it came out a million years ago on TNT, but now they're re-releasing. I bet this is my prediction now, right here on Libra Lounge. It is about to blow up because it's getting a second life. You know how Netflix will do that? It'll kind of like breathe life into a show that didn't get as much eyeballs, but it's really good. But it reminds me of Sons of Anarchy a lot. It's really violent.
I've never watched Sons of Anarchy.
What?
I know.
I'm shocked at that over The Wire for sure.
I know. So here we're gonna end with this one.
Okay.
Number 39 is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Boo! No, absolutely not. No.
So
what are your thoughts?
I'll say this. I thought it was one of the most annoying shows ever on television. I'm like, oh my God, why is Skylar watching this? But then one day we were watching maybe a documentary about the ocean, like very adult level stuff. Yeah. And my kid knew all the answers. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, how do you know this? She goes, from SpongeBob. So I'm like, well.
No, I won't accept it. I will not accept it. I will not have this conversation. That is, no. SpongeBob, it's like,
so I'm like, okay, all right.
I don't know. It would be my hypothesis that it makes us dumber. But your counter argument is that no, look, it made her smarter. So
it did it. Like, and look, I'm not going to sit here and lie. You know, I'm sure you understand this. Like, we watch television shows with our kids. For example, I love the television show iCarly. Yeah. Like, I'll sit there or watch a marathon of it now by myself and laugh hard. But it was one of those shows that you start watching with your kid, and then your kid would, eventually go off into another room, and you're like, well, I got to see the last fucking 15 minutes of this show. Yeah. And you realize, like, you've become a fan of it. Yeah. I agree too.
Did you read Jeanette's book?
I'm reading it now. Right now.
Ooh, it's good. It's juicy. It's really juicy.
Yeah. I just started it the other night, and so far I really like it. I'm still on the part where she's getting like her first principal role. So I'm like early on in the book, but so far it's a very good read. All right, Sundi, I have picked your brain for almost an hour now.
Yes.
So give us, my audience, like a lasting thing that you would like us to know about pop culture, reality TV, and content creation. Any advice?
So, my thing is just take it seriously. If you want to know what our world is happening, what's happening in pockets of culture, what people look at, what people like, look at what people participate with. If you want to get a sense of the state of our culture, all you have to do is dip into what's trending on TikTok. What are the top 10 shows? What's happening? And you can get a lot of insight, because people don't want to take it seriously. They want to be like, it's just a reality TV. How can you watch it? But really and truly, if 1 million eyeballs are on it, then it's reflecting something about it. So that's what I always want to say. Take it seriously.
Okay. Yeah. I have not been taking it seriously. So
we talk about it in an academic way, and people like, if you say what you do, I do a podcast about reality TV, or I teach a class about reality TV, people immediately want to be like, what? That's ridiculous. Yeah. But no, it's not, though, because a lot of people are interested in it. A lot of people are participating with it. So it's got to be something. So
when you look at our downloads per month, it's like people are like, this is like it's a big community of reality TV lovers. Like, we love it. And it's something that I can't talk about with a lot of people in my real life, because they're like, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching 1,000-Pound Sisters. So I had this community that, I know you're like Mary Payne. She's like, I will never, ever watch it.
Yeah, man.
It's so good. It's so good.
I watched some of the 1,000-Pound Roommates, though, and that was really compelling. I did watch like an episode now, a couple episodes of it. It was compelling. But
Mary Payne says if it's a show about being overweight and surgery, Keisha's gonna watch it.
Okay, that's your jam. Okay, got it.
That's my jam. In my 600-pound life, I just stood in line 4 hours to meet Dr. Now.
You did. I love that. I love it. Yeah. So that's committing to the bit.
That is committing to it right there.
Yeah. I hope you make some content out of that, because that's genius.
I loved it. I'm like, I can't believe I sit in line for 4 hours for an 80-year-old bariatric surgeon in Houston. Who would have thunk?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you can always talk to me about it. I watch everything all the time, so I'm always around.
Okay. Thank you so much. This was great. This is not every day that you meet a professor who teaches about reality TV and pop culture.
Yeah, that's my bit.
This has been great. So thank you so much, Sunday. Not Sunday. Sunday.
See, I answered anything.
I got to get the southern part in at the Sunday. So, okay. That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you soon.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.